Folks, this is Mel, and I'm coming to you with a little bit of a different deal today. Okay, we got Dr. Melody Marine with us. She's a chiropractor with some incredible testimonials. I was introduced to this product, and I got to tell you, I rolled my eyes and said, okay, not one of these, because this is like basically an exotic blow dryer with some lights that shoots out of it. Didn't think nothing of it. I said, worst case scenario, I can always use it as a blow dryer. Only one problem. I have no hair. So I was able to talk to this lady today that was introduced to me by Rocky. So thank you, Rocky. And she gave me some incredible testimonials. She is a chiropractor and she tried it on her patients. I'm not going to steal the floor from her, but there's also not just the fact that we can get to our XRP pain-free is always good. And if you could do it without the drugs and all the BS that they try to shove down your throat that is not good for you, and do it naturally. This is like having a portable med bed that does a lot of things that we have to watch our lingo because somebody thinks they own the language, not for long, but for the time being. But this works. See, I was using it on my finger. Okay, I had an axe on my finger and the nerves got severed. Okay, and the reality is the pain actually did go away. This is my personal testimony. The pain went away. The numbness is still there. I'm not going to BS. If the numbness goes away, I'll report that as well. But doctor, thank you so much for coming. I would like for you to tell our audience, because there's a business opportunity with it, but forget the business opportunity. Just focus on the pain. Let's get rid of the pain. Let's get you sold that it works on the pain. Then if you want to do the business opportunity, there's no obligation. You can do that as well. Please take it away. Tell us what you've done with your patients and give me some of the testimonies that you and I talked about earlier. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you for giving me that opportunity. This is one of the things that we can be truly grateful is coming out now. I've been doing frequency medicine for a long time, and to see it now get into people's hands where they can start to understand that we're electrical, we're frequency beings, and voltage is healing. So when we think of, oh, well, some kind of mineral deficiency that somebody has, and we're going to try and fix their problems. And I do restorative medicine, which means I try to restore people's health once they're chronically ill or terminally ill, even for that matter. And their charge is low. I've got to get all those minerals in there. We have to start thinking about healing as physics and not chemistry only. So what's going on is the person has a low charge. We have to charge them up. So I've known that for a long time. To be able to see this come out today is an awakening by itself, to know that these things are happening. Oh, and I bought it like you. I don't know anything about this company, but I know a lot about frequency medicine. And this was so affordable. Every machine I owned cost me $2,500 to heat somebody up with electrical muscle stim or shortwave diathermy, and they help. I know about frequency medicine. I use it. It's cumbersome trying to get people hooked up to electrodes and fire up at the right frequency, starting with in the days of Rife, when he was looking at chronic illness and frequencies that could stimulate organs back to health. And seeing that something like this is being claimed, I bought it. I said, let's fire this up. Let's see what's going on. I had a headache that day. So I turned it on and, my headache went away, but, maybe that's placebo. I wasn't expecting it to go away. I'll tell you that, but it did. And I was a little taken aback by that because it was only about 2-3 minutes. I was just waving around on my head. In general, I was at home. My husband was there. He said, your headache is gone. And I said, yeah, I can feel like something was there, but it's not there now. He says, that's huge. I said, well, let's just see. I expect a lot more from this than that. And because of an old sciatic injury, I treated my leg. It wasn't flared up at the moment, but I have partial paresis, which results in a limp. So I put that on for about 5 minutes. It's loud. My husband wanted to watch television. I turned it off. I got up and I don't have a limp. So, I kept walking around and I didn't have a limp. Well, what's going to happen if I walk a little faster when it gets more pronounced? Okay, the limp came, but it was maybe 60, 70%, 75% better. And I didn't even do it for that long. So I was like, I'm not ready to accept this. This is just huge.
Correct.
I think this is just huge. So I thought, this is not a scam. So I start digging into terahertz frequency, and I start finding out that it's kind of a sweet spot between wavelengths, that it can actually get deep enough into your tissue and bone marrow and stimulate those stem cells. But what I found, that there was something moving around inside of me, like aligning itself and moving, opening up ligaments that had been restricted. And the next couple of days, I'm walking around using muscles I haven't used in years. I've had this limp for 15 years. Now I'm sore using muscles I hadn't used. Now I'm convinced this isn't a temporary, oh, it made me feel better for 5 minutes. This is permanent. I was stunned, to say the least. But even though I know about frequency medicine and I know the technology that works behind it, it really has the potential to heal. So, and that's what the research shows. I'm not speaking out of turn here. This is what the science says. There's a Nobel Prize winner, this Dr. Nels, who won the Nobel Prize for treating tuberculosis with artificial light. It wasn't terahertz. This is better. So I take the machine to the office. And I'm going to try it out on more people. And I have my opportunity. In comes a real bad injury. This poor fireman had an entire wall fall down on him. He's got to have a hip replacement. He can barely walk. He's just had fresh orthoscopic surgery on his knee, and he's got a torn Achilles, and he's here for a fit for duty exam. And I'm laughing. I'm like, you can't go to work? He said, I know. What do I do? I said, well, I'll tell you what. Let's get you on disability and get you some healing, and let's start today. He said, well, I already started physical therapy. And I said, yeah, but I got a Rolls Royce in my garage I'm going to try out on you. He says, okay. So I pulled it out. He's like, whoa, what is that? So you see this light? That's what's treating you. This is a frequency that is very high intensity, but it's not like laser. It's not going to burn you. It's very, very safe. And I'd like to try it out on your new surgery. And I don't tell him what had happened to me. So he's like, sure, let's try it. So I put it on him, and I did it for 10 minutes. Now, because his surgery was fresh, I had to put it on the low heat setting because the skin was already hot. So now this is the first time I'm using it on a low heat setting. And I do it for 10 minutes, which is the longest treatment time that I had just got the machine. And then I said, well, let's see what it did. Let's see you walk. Walking was very painful for him, but he was game. So he gets up and he's walking. And I said, wow, that looks like it's about 25% better in 10 minutes. He said, oh, at least.
Wow.
It's better than that. And
Wow.
he's as stunned as I am. So this is, what do I have my hands on here? This is really, really everything that I know frequency medicine to be. And it's in our hands. And I'm so excited and so grateful. I want to cry. I'm moved deeply by the fact that people don't have to pay me $100 to come in to use my machine that halfway works for 20 minutes. And then the minute you get home and feed the dogs, you're in pain again. And you got to come back again. Keeps me in business, but I'd be happy to have this machine put me out of business. I'd be happy to. So I treat people that are expected to have permanent disabilities. They're involved in lawsuits. It's called med legal. I do expert testimony, and I work on behalf of the patients. So I see people who are pretty badly injured. And I see fresh accidents as well as chronic ones. This day I had a fresh accident come in, and he'd had the car accident just the day before. So the muscles are guarded now, can barely turn his neck. And he's crying on my shoulder. I've got to get to work. You've got to help me get to work. And I work for the state. So there's, so much that I can do and my license is about keeping the roads safe. And he can't turn his neck. So I said, well, let's see what we can do. He says, yeah, but I've got to go out of town tomorrow. You're giving me one day? Okay,
Wow.
expect a miracle, get a miracle. Let's see what we can do. I got this machine. It's been doing some good things. Let's see what's going to happen with you. So I put him on the table. I examine him, and he's tender. I can adjust, but it's going to hurt him if I do. And I said, you know what? I've got this machine. I'm gonna try it out. And you're doing some good things. So I did that to him, and he says something's happening. And I said, what's happening? He says something's moving around in there. I said, that's the same thing that happened when I did it. Something's moving around. I said, go ahead and move it, stretch it, see what you can do to move it. And he's pulling his neck out while I'm treating it, doing like that. And I'm like, pull it out. Don't hold back. Do it. And he's lining himself up. He's just like self-aligning, and his muscles are releasing on the spot.
Wow.
And the reason I know that is because I said, you know what? After this treatment, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can adjust this. Let me put my hands on it. I put it on. It's moving. I just barely put low intention, a thrust, and everything lines up. And he's like, oh my God, you're an angel. You're an angel. He couldn't stop claiming that I was an angel. And then, he's telling my husband is my business manager. And he's like, I just got to tell you, you're married to an angel. Look at this. Look at this.
That's amazing. Yeah.
He says, oh, I know.
The testimonials are really off the charts. And when I heard from Rocky that, we got a doctor in California that's only been in the business literally for 3-4 weeks. are you like actually actively, bringing other distributors on board, or you're just,
this is, I've been in practice for 38 years, close to 4 decades. And one of the strong principles that I stood on is I don't sell anything. And that's real important to me, that I don't sell nutrition.
Absolutely.
I don't sell anything. And when I bought the product, I made sure that my sponsor knew that.
Right.
But my business manager is like, you know what? You don't have to sell anything. We're going to do it for you, because these people are asking. And that's the thing that I'm most excited about, is that people can have it in their hands. That this is the way it's done. They set it up so that it's a business opportunity.
Yeah.
And it is all that. And my husband is a business manager. I'm the doctor. I don't worry about the money. He does that. He's like, we're selling this.
Yeah.
You go ahead and learn that. Go ahead and do that. So he is, I've already got some kind of a downline started, and I'm not trying. In fact, I was trying literally not to sell.
Same thing happened to us. Same thing. I called Rocky. She's like, hey, I just threw a couple of people. I say, hey, go look at this thing. Then somebody came from Long Island, my friend Gila Jed, and she actually bought it to me. When I looked at it, I swear to God, I looked at my wife. I rolled my eyes. This thing cannot possibly work. This has got to be a hoax. And like I said, I can't use it because, she's got hair, but I ain't got hair. What am I going? Well, maybe for my beard, not really necessary. Just towel dry it, right? But the reality is, it does work. Because I had constant pain in my finger, constant pain. Okay. Yeah. And because the ligaments and the nerves got completely separated, the numbness, like I said, is still there, but the pain is like 99.99% gone. So I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? This is, so the same thing that happened to you with the headache, and they said, oh, placebo and all that stuff. You know what I mean? We actually run a channel, doctor, that is basically about the reevaluation of money. And it's about XRP, which is going to be the new next Bitcoin, which you're going to get to know me. You're going to probably get to own Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, but XRP, which is going to be the new Bitcoin, because it's going to be the one that's going to move all the money. So my idea is, I hear all the people complaining about different things. So I got to be able to try and bring things to them that can alleviate the pain and hopefully make them some money at the same time. For the people that are not in pain, we have other business opportunities that we also dabble in, that they could do that one. You know what I mean? So I get pitched, no BS. I get pitched probably 29, 30, 35 different business opportunities every single month. Right. But and I tell all of them to basically go away, because I got the ones that I need right now. I don't need any more other business opportunities. There's a handful, less than a handful.
Well, it makes sense. If people are seeing results like this, which are nothing less than miraculous, and you don't want to believe it, But when you see it and it happens to you, they're going to want it. Of course, they're going to want it because they need it. We're all so sick. And this is the way to charge up ourselves so that our minerals are working, our water's hydrating us, and we're seeing instant results. Of course, it makes I hope this machine puts me out of business. It would be a miracle come true. And that's what I'm expecting, nothing less,
Yeah,
nothing less.
exactly.
This is the future medicine. And to be alive today, to see this happening, to have it in our hands, it is something that people are going to have trouble believing. They have to try it, and then they'll see that they've been in pain for 15, 20, 30 years, and they see some relief. Now, depending on if you're feeding your body right, if you're eating Kellogg's cornflakes in the morning, every morning, and you're drinking Coke, and your blood is like battery acid, you're probably going to see even more remarkable results, but you're probably going to get a little sick first or fatigued while the body tries to pull itself back together. For me, it was instantaneous. I do a lot of really good things in keeping my body healthy and active and my muscles. And when I did it, my paralysis was relieved. I mean, instantly. Now, will it come back? Well, it hasn't so far. It's been about 3 weeks, and I'm walking better every day because I'm still using it. Of course, they're going to want it. So, we're going to lose this money system anyway. We might as well spend it on something worthwhile and make enough money to invest in XRP and in precious metals or something. Like I invested in homeschooling materials. So I got some extra microscopes and some things so I can teach kids because I see the writing on the wall. I know what's going to happen.
What's funny? I recently recruited a friend of mine that I worked with in the past. He is an international attorney. He's no dummy. This guy is very, very highly intelligent. I'm not going to mention his name because right now they're still going through a process, but they're about a half inch away from actually hiring him. And the company is not from the United States or it's not from Canada. The company's from Malaysia. It's a multi-$100 million company, highly, highly successful. So I brought this guy in. I won't mention his name. And all of a sudden, my people were so impressed with him. They immediately told corporate that, hey, Mel just brought in this international attorney who understands marketing companies, sales companies, et cetera. They're like I said, they're a half inch away from hiring. For all we know, he's already hired. I don't know. I didn't ask, Rocky today, but I know that there's ongoing negotiations, and I know that they've been doing Zoom calls with the CEO of the company. So this whole thing is just like literally blowing out of proportion on its own.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you don't push something, it goes on its own based on its own merit. You understand? Does that make sense?
By its own merit, this is really hard to believe. It's so amazing. I'm so grateful for being alive at this time. I like I said, I've known about frequency medicine for a long time, and my idea of when we would start seeing things turn around as the big shift takes place in our lifetime, my measuring stick was about energy. When energy was going to be released to the people, then I would know it's happening. And it took me, these 3 weeks of holding on to this product to realize that this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the moment that tells me that things have turned. The shift is here.
Right. Absolutely. This is like a portable med bed. I feel the energy. I charge my water. I drink about 2 liters of water a day, charged water from the thing, because I charge it for about 3-4 minutes. And you're supposed to drink it before and after. So I follow those rules. But what really caught my attention, doctor, was this. About 3.5 weeks ago or so, just about maybe at the time that you were getting enrolled, I came across a video on the internet. This lady over in the UK. And she was treating her mom. She had that thing that's caused by the sun, but that we're not allowed to mention, with the letter C, okay, and ends with an R, okay, okay. So the reality is that thing that was on her arm, that was supposed to be whatever, you could sort of, we have to sort of watch our language. We're under surveillance of sort.
Right.
She starts to treat this thing in 5 days, 6 days. This thing is completely gone.
Wow.
That was the
Wow.
turning point for me. I said, okay, Mel,
Wow.
maybe you need to start paying attention, because when you watch something, if someone's trying to
Wow.
BS you or if someone's telling you the truth. You know what I mean?
Wow.
This, to me, this came out as authentic, as truthful could be. That was the turning point when I started to really pay attention. So here we are. Now we got you. I got another gentleman tomorrow that wants to do another testimonial. He's somebody that ended in our group supposedly, and his father's blood pressure went away. I mean, just one after another, all
It's
kinds
one
of
after another. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of chiropractors inside the business are sharing the same testimonies that I'm seeing. And I'm not seeing it with a few. I'm seeing with every single one. Every single
Exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If it was just one, okay, you dismiss it. But every single one you're actually treating is having major success. You
Mhm.
got to call it ace and a spade,
Yeah.
right?
This is really remarkable. Now, interesting you said about charging the water. If you look up, if you like physics at all, the wavelength, the terahertz frequency itself, this is brand new technology. We've had artificial light and laser and UV light therapy that we've been doing in IV and all kinds of things for a while with success, but nothing like this. And this is brand new technology, and it's the sweet spot of wavelengths. And they put it into this ability to let alternating current activate these crystals, and they can make these portable units. This is just since 2006. This was NASA and Turkey and Japan and the United States were all involved in a lot of the research that I was reading about. And the interesting thing to know is that this frequency is absorbed by water, particularly. And since our body is made up of water, it circulates through its electrical information very quickly throughout the entire body all at once. That's why that's what makes sense to me from reading the science, why it works so incredibly, so systemically. So what in artificial light therapy, no matter which one, whether you're using red lights or blue lights, infrared or lasers, what it's doing is it's charging up photon activity that already exists in our cells. And this photon activity actually communicates with other photons in the body. So you can charge up in a vial, say, for instance, in the research shows, in fact, Nobel Prize winning research shows that you fire it up in one vial and the one that's not even physically in contact with it will fire up. So the cells are communicating through photons. That much we know. The fact that it's absorbed, that this particular wavelength of terahertz, brand new technology, we're talking brand spanking new technology in our hands, and a business opportunity. The way they decided to put it out there was genius, to get it in as many people's hands, to start educating people about that we're really frequency beings. And this is how our medicine needs to go, not in the hands of synthetic chemistry that builds a false kind of mafia empire that's being funded on our backs and on the health of ourselves, our family, our loved ones, our children. Our health is failing because they're making money off of it, instead of understanding how the body really works. And it works with light frequencies. And we know that. We know Kirlian photography. We know all of this. We've known it for a long time. It hasn't come together until this.
Right.
This is life-changing, humanity, life, cultural changing technology.
Now I'm going to try to hold this to the camera. I don't know if it'll pick it up, but there are actually crystals. There are actually crystals inside this thing. And let's see if it picks it up. That'll be great if it does. If we could see.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing stuff. No, I'm really impressed. And I'll tell you what, this thing is going to travel with me wherever I go. I used to,
you don't need to know all the stuff I just told you about. That's just background information so that people understand this is not woo-woo. This is something that has held promise in the scientific and healing
Yeah.
community since ancient times, using light therapy.
Exactly.
This is very channeled.
Well, do you
energy.
remember Trump when that C-19 thing that we're not allowed to talk about as well? And he talked about putting down an ultraviolet light down your throat. Remember that?
He did. He definitely did.
Okay. This has got an ultraviolet light, and this
And
has
that
got
bleach thing, when he
crystals.
was talking about that chloride dioxide, he's talking
Yeah,
about
be
a
careful
product.
with those words because they don't
Right.
like those words. Yeah,
Yeah, they accused him of that. I knew way what he was
yeah.
talking about, and it was blowing my mind then. But now I see he knew this was going to come out. It's all the truth is going to come out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all coming out. That's why they don't want him back. Not to get off subject here. You know, not trying to turn this into a political thing, because he is going to release all life extension technology. He's going to release everything. This is just the beginning. These are just little clues that are coming along the way. Okay. And so right down below, folks, there's going to be
If this
links.
is little,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's big?
Oh,
If
yeah,
this is
you ain't.
little,
We'll talk. I'm going to hit the pause button. We're going to say goodbye to the audience here in a second, and you and I will talk. Down below, there are links that will tell you more information. You don't have to do the business opportunity. It's not an obligation. Get the device. If you're in pain, get the device. If your pain goes away and you decide you want to do it as a business opportunity, or you know other people that have pain, I'm sure you probably do. Everybody does. Then sell it. Okay. People are making money with this. I'm not even going to throw figures and numbers at you because the numbers are crazy, but there are people making a tremendous amount of money. For people who take this seriously, there is a compensation plan that will allow you to not only have a very comfortable income, but you'll be able to buy a lot more XRP. Guys, thank you for joining us. We'll catch you in the next one. The links are right down below for more information, or just contact us and we'll be more than happy to move you in the right direction or introduce you to Rocky or Lori or Sandy. There's a bunch of people that handle our accounts. We don't have time for it. We're just going to point you in the direction. We got 90,000 plus people following us at this point. It's a lot of people. So you can imagine. But thank you so much for joining us. Stay on, Doctor. I appreciate you coming.
yeah, it was really great. This is fantastic things happening.